Hello, and welcome back to the Adobe Connect training series for the Johns Hopkins Carey Business School. In this video, we are going to discuss the audio options for an Adobe Connect meeting. With Adobe Connect, we use a computer to share visuals such as a document, a program, or our desktop. But how can we transmit our voice? We're going to take a look at 3 different options available for connecting audio to your meeting, including the requirements for each option and the pros and cons. When you hold an Adobe Connect meeting, it is important that you establish an audio connection so that your students or participants can hear what you are saying, as well as ask questions or participate in group discussion. Generally speaking, you have 3 options for integrating audio with Adobe Connect. Option 1, using your computer. Option 2, using a phone. Or Option 3, syncing your computer with a conference line via a feature called Audio Bridge. There are several considerations to take into account for each of these 3 options. Let's start with the computer-only option. With this option, you will use your computer as your primary audio communications tool. Your speech will be captured by either a built-in microphone, webcam, or headset connected to your computer. Your participants should also use one of these devices for their own audio connection. Your participant's voice will come to you through the computer speakers or your headset. To initiate this type of audio connection, you must activate your microphone from within your meeting room. You will need to click on the downward arrow button next to the white microphone icon at the top of the meeting room, and then select Connect My Audio. You may see a pop-up window asking if you wish to allow connect.johnshopkins.edu to access your camera and microphone. If you receive this pop-up, simply select the Allow button. You should then notice the microphone icon turns to green, and sound waves appear next to it when you speak. This indicates your microphone is connected properly. The pros of this option are: 1. No conference line is required, and 2. You will be able to record the Adobe Connect's meetings on-screen visuals as well as the audio. The cons of this option are: 1. You may not have the required peripheral devices such as microphone, speaker, webcam, or headset. And 2. If your participants do not have these devices, they will either need to make additional purchases or be reliant on the chat pod to communicate. Extra tips. Plan ahead. Running a test session with a couple participants is highly recommended, so you may work through any technical issues in advance. Also, electronic devices, such as your cell phone or radio, can cause static or feedback. You may wish to turn them off or move them away from your computer during your meeting. Participant audio. By default, your participants' microphones will be muted when they enter the meeting room, so you will not be able to hear them. You may enable everyone's microphone at once by going under the Audio menu and selecting Microphone Rights for Participants. When you do this, a microphone icon will appear to the right of every person's name in the attendees pod. However, this option can lead to a lot of background noise and echoes. You may wish to leave everyone muted and require participants to raise their hands by going under the status icon and selecting Raise Hand. When this happens, you will see a pop-up in the upper right-hand corner alerting you that somebody wishes to speak. You can give that person audio access by either selecting the checkbox in the pop-up or by clicking their name in the attendees pod and selecting Enable Audio from the sub-menu. Likewise, you may disable their audio in the same manner. The second option is phone only. With this option, your computer will be used for sharing visuals only. All speech is transmitted through a telephone. This option requires you have a conference line for your meeting and that everyone on the meeting, including you, call that line for speaking and listening. Please note, your regular office or cell phone line will not work for this option. A conference line is required. The Carey Business School has a limited number of conference lines for makeup classes, which may be reserved on a first-come, first-served basis. You will want to contact a Carey administrator to reserve a conference line as soon as you have a date and time for your Adobe Connect meeting. Otherwise, you may need to obtain a conference line from an outside provider such as Audix or freeconferencecall.com. Please be aware, while some companies may offer free conference line setup, the conference line phone numbers may be long distance, meaning you can still accrue long distance charges on you and your students' phone bills. The pros of this method are that anyone with a phone can participate. No special computer equipment is needed, and if traveling, a student can at least dial in for the audio portion of the call. The cons of this method are: 1. If you want to record your Adobe Connect meeting, it will only capture the on-screen visuals. No audio will be recorded because your phone is not connected to your computer. Number 2, if a participant is in an area with a weak cell phone signal, they might not be able to hear you clearly or be dropped from the call. The third option is a built-in Adobe Connect feature called Audio Bridge. With Audio Bridge, participants can connect to your meeting via phone or computer. With the Audio Bridge feature, Adobe Connect is able to call your conference line through the internet and use your computer's devices, such as microphones, speakers, webcams, or headset, to simultaneously broadcast your voice to all participants. One pro of this option is that you will be able to record the meeting with the audio, including all audio transmitted on the phone and through the computer. Some cons of this option are: 1. Adobe Connect requires your conference line be a local or toll-free number. Adobe Connect will not make long-distance phone calls. Number 2, setup of the audio bridge is initially a bit cumbersome. Though once complete, an existing audio bridge may be reused in other meeting rooms. A link to step-by-step instructions on audio bridge setup can be found on the Adobe Connect login page. Final tips. Even though you may connect your audio by telephone line and computer simultaneously, you and your participants should only use one method. The method you choose and the method your participants choose may be different, but if any user connects with both a phone and a computer device at the same time, it will result in feedback and echoes. Please use only one method. Additionally, you may again want to turn off or move any other electronic devices away from your computer, such as radio, iPod, or cell phone. Lastly, you may also wish to continue muting all participant microphones until they raise your hands, as shown previously. This again will help to reduce background noise, static, and feedback. If you wish to find out more about the Audio Bridge or any other conferencing options available with Adobe Connect, please contact the Learning at Carey team for additional assistance. Thank you.